Hello, Internet, and welcome to episode 261 of Verbal Graffiti with your host, Brian Glass, a.k.a. the B-Man, the People's Degenerate. I would like to take a moment once more to reintroduce myself to the Internet. My name is Brian Glass. I do not tip cam girls because I am frugal, and I morally object to babes being permitted to earn an income. All right, let's continue the episode. I wrote that down, that sentence in my notes. I go, that's a fun sentence. Let me get that out of the way as it's in my head so I don't stumble over the words and can use it as a reel. But I do stand by that statement. I am frugal. And babes, actually, earn all the money you want. So you can be my sugar mama? Is that what they call it? All right, moving forward. Episode 261. We have our big-time supporter of the project, Verbal Graffiti, Jerry Sandusky. Yeah, playing deck of cards. He is the Joker. I'm keeping it in the wrapping because there is he has a strong group of collectors, Jerry Sandusky. So it maintains its value in the wrapping. Therefore, we're not going to take it out, but I want to put him there. Again, he's been with us since episode 1. So this is a tip of my penis to Jerry Sandusky and his support that he's given us vigorously since the beginning. All right, all that out of the way. This episode's going to be about smut. If you don't like the smut, what are you doing here? Look at this backdrop. You don't have to know who the B-Man is. Just take one look at my backdrop, and you can kind of tell we ain't going to be talking about Disney, Aladdin, although that guy is a stud. He might have been the first Chad of all the Chads on the internet of animation, might have been Aladdin. Well, maybe we'll do a poll. Speaking about morality, and whether or not babes should be permitted to earn an income. Should babes, when it comes to pornography, the smut that you fancy, that you watch, that you goon to. I said last episode 260, that there was a Friday night I was gooning from 1 a.m. or maybe midnight to 4 a.m. It got to 4 a.m. and it was like, dude, I gotta hawk my dick loogie so I could go to sleep. My whole next day, Saturday, was wrecked because I gooned till 4 a.m. I woke up at 10. I need at least 8 hours of sleep. I was groggy. I had a headache. It was hot and humid out. I didn't get to enjoy the weather because I was gooning, but I couldn't find the correct scene because the person I use on X that uploads videos, he got suspended. His account, that is. I'm assuming it's a guy. Maybe I should not. Sorry, I got to itch my nose. Allergies. It's not cocaine. So I was flustered. I was trying to find something, a scene, a babe, busty, jiggly, animated, loud, but not too loud where it's fake. I'm starting to realize with Hailey Rose, I love Hailey Rose. We've been a day one supporter of Hailey Rose here at Verbal Graffiti. My one critique of Hailey, two critiques of Hailey Rose. One, she's starting to get some tattoos. Don't like that. But hey, her body, her choice. She can do what she wants. But the one thing I loved about her is she seemed to enjoy the lovemaking that she was engaging in on camera. She wasn't just doing it for the money, or at least it didn't come across that way. But I'm starting to get the sense that Hailey Rose might be overdoing it with the orgasms, where she'll have these convulsions, like she's being taken over by, abducted by an alien. And I'm starting to suspect that the orgasms she's having on camera might be fake orgasms that Hailey Rose is giving us. And that hurts my... It hurts me. All of me. I was going to say Mr. Perfect, my penis, but it hurts all of me that one of my favorite performers in the industry of smut, Hailey Rose, might be faking her orgasms that she's given us. Now, she's giving it to her male talent, but in reality, as a John, she's giving it to us. That orgasm, her acting. But prior to maybe the past year, I always got the sense that those orgasms were real when she would shake her leg and roll her eyes back. But now it's a little too dog and pony for me. And I found myself the other night, close to 4 a.m., I found a Hailey Rose scene. I go, all right, hey, I've been gooning 4 hours. Hailey Rose is one of my go-tos. Like, this is going to be the scene that I hawk my dick loogie to and end my goon session, go to sleep, be able to wake up refreshed on a weekend, and go about my life till the next time I goon. But the scene, she was so hurt. Sorry, my nose is like crazy right now. But she was so herky-jerky with her orgasm. It was, and it was too much. Maybe the guy was just piping her so good, so ferociously, so, hitting the cervix in the right angle, the right spot, where maybe it was all real. And the guy was piping her so well that he's a professional. That's what made her convulse orgasmically, gave her the gasm. When I watched it, and then I rewatched it, the orgasm that is, as I was gooning, it wasn't believable to me. That could be my fault as well. Maybe I've watched too much Hailey Rose. I know I've seen her boyfriend. I'm not sure if it's her husband or her boyfriend or her. It's certainly she has there's a guy in the industry that's her boyfriend or husband. They're together. They're in love. So, and I've seen the two of them fuck on camera. So I've seen her have real orgasms with him. I might be it might be my fault. Like, I've watched too much of Hailey Rose where I can tell the difference between a real orgasm and a fake orgasm. And that's on me for watching too much of her. I won't lie, though. It does hurt me. Not hurt me, but it disappoints me. It disappoints me when I see Hailey Rose hamming it up during the gasm. Or the alleged gasm that she's having on camera. Because her real orgasm is lovely. You don't need to ham up your orgasm at all. Eyes back, the shaking leg, a little bit of dirty talk. It's what you want when you're piping a babe and give her a real gasm. I've seen, I haven't given it to Hailey. I would love to, even with all my complaints, which I would still. I'd apologize profusely if she would give me the chance to get inside that sniz of hers. And it's one of the best snizzes I've ever seen on camera, that is. I went into this episode not even with Hailey Rose on my mind. What I want to get to now is the morality. Now, having a fake orgasm on camera, that's part of your job as a female actress, female talent. So what Hailey Rose, if she's fake orgasming, that's her job. I could have I could make judgment, I could make complaints about it, but she's doing what she has to do to make a living. So a tip of my penis to Hailey Rose. I'm not taking back what I said, but keep doing you. You're almost you're basically at the top of the industry right now, and I'm just a John gooning to you. I'm nobody. I'm nobody compared to you. So don't listen to me. You're doing it right. Whatever you're doing, and I know what it is you're doing. You're doing it right. I've seen so much of you that. That's a me thing. I gotta get away from Hailey Rose for 6 months and then come back. Yeah. But I want to talk about the morality of the smut that you watch. Like, so much gets spoken, like ethical porn, making sure everybody's sober, giving consent, not being pressured into performing, on camera, being in the industry. Everything's talked out before you engage into sex, and make sure that none of the actors are the product or the victim of sexual trafficking or human trafficking, and everything's on the up and up. And is there such thing as ethical porn? That's not really what I want to get into here, because I haven't done enough research. What I want to talk about, and all I can really talk about, is my own experience and the subcategories of smut that I enjoy watching, that I get my gasm to, that I hawk my dick loogie to. And one such subcategory of smut is cheating porn. I love watching cheating porn. It's one of the hottest subcategories of smut that I goon to. And I goon to it quite often. If I'm in the middle of a goon session, all right, because I'm an edger, right? I'll stroke, and right before orgasm, I'll stop, I'll get flaccid, and then I'll rev up again, and I'll keep doing that process until I could hardly feel my penis, and then I just dribble because I don't shoot my loads very far, although I am taking zinc to get more volume of my dick loogie. But I watch cheating porn. Now, I'll readily admit, I've never really been in a real relationship my entire life. So, I don't really know what it's like to be cheated on. You can't be cheated on if you've never been in a real relationship. I was in an open relationship where I think the babe was having more sex than she admitted to me with other guys, other Johns. But hey, that's not really cheating. I don't consider that cheating. But I enjoy watching cheating porn. And I think I have to question myself. Is that ethical? Am I okay watching cheating porn? Now, the evidence would suggest that I am, because I've been watching cheating porn upwards of 2 decades now, 2+ decades. I've been watching cheating porn on the internet, hawking my dick loogie to it. So the evidence and my history would suggest that I'm okay. At least with myself, I'm okay with myself watching cheating porn. Now, I think cheating in real life is wrong. You should not do it. Although, I'm not Jesus. I'm not God. I'm not going to point at you and think you're a terrible. Well, maybe I will point at you and think you're a terrible person if you break someone's heart and you cheat on them. Or, yeah, you're a shitty person. You shouldn't do that. I'm going to judge you for that. But again, I watch cheating porn. So when I'm judging you for what you're doing, if you come back at me, you watch this episode, 261, and I say, hey, whoever you are in a future conversation or confrontation, hey, you cheated on your girlfriend. You're a big weenie. You shouldn't have done that. You're a terrible person. I'm really disappointed in you. If you come back at me going, oh, well, you watch cheating porn, so who are you to be pointing that out about me? I got no rebuttal. You're right. Watching cheating porn is cheating adjacent. So although I've never cheated on a babe, I've had flings and short-term things that weren't really real relationships, but I've never cheated on any. And, but I don't know. Now I'm in my head about it. Well, I'm not a cheater, but I watch cheating porn. That does make me cheating adjacent. Right? It's something I get off to. I hawk my dick loogie to it. The semen shoots out, dribbles on beach towel. Should I stop watching cheating porn? These are the internal dialogue I'm having at work each day, when I should be focusing on the assignments that I have, that my manager gives me, my supervisor. And then when I have a weekly meeting with her over Teams, because I work from home, so she'll point out all the mistakes I made during my assignments. And she'll ask me, oh, we've been over this before. Why did you make the same mistake that we addressed last week or the week prior. Now, the real answer is, well, I'm thinking about cheating porn and whether it's morally correct for me to watch it or not. But I can't tell my manager this. The real reason why I made a mistake is because I'm not focusing on the work, because I'm thinking about the smut I watch after work. But again, I think that makes me a good employee, a valuable employee. I wait till after work. Or I do so before work with my smut. I don't watch smut while working. Again, when I go into my annual review for work, if you work corporate America, and I'm somewhat corporate, I don't make corporate money, but I'm in the corporate ecosphere, whatever. Like, I'm corporate. But I ain't making six figures. 65,000 is what I make pre-tax. And so when you go into your annual review and you my employer will go, you get a 3% raise, which is bullshit because inflation and the price of everything is doubled the last year. How is anybody surviving? But I make the case for myself. But it's such bullshit because you go into that annual review with your supervisor or your supervisor's supervisor. And because I've been at this company 7 years now, so I know every year I'm going to get a 2 to 3% annual raise each year, right? But before I get that raise, I have the annual review with my supervisor. So I know what the end result is. It's always going to be 3%, 2 to 3%. So, but you go in there, or via Teams, that is, excuse me, and I'm advocating for myself, and my manager, she gives me all the stats. Well, here are your metrics from the past year. Here are the metrics that are great. Here are the ones I want you to improve on. What do you think about your performance this past year? Your placement within the company? What are your thoughts? And then there's silence, and then I'm supposed to give an answer. Then what I should say is, well, I deserve more than a 3% raise because I don't look at smut while I'm working. I wait till after work hours to do that. And I can guarantee you there are employees in this company, within this company, that can't say the same. So I deserve a minimum of 5% raise. What say you, manager? I don't say that because I'm a big old coward. But that's what if you had a real annual review, like that's it. Like, hey, I watch a lot of smut. I goon for hours on end, and I don't do any of it during working hours. I haven't sexually harassed any of the employees on our team or any other team in this company. 10% raise. What do you say? That would be my pitch. There was a point where I was unemployed for almost 2 years in my early 30s. It was a rough patch in my life. I wasn't collecting any baseball card or Jerry Sandusky cards because I didn't have the disposable income at that point to do so. Where I was so desperate. I was sending out like hundreds and thousands of resumes on LinkedIn and Monster and all these employment sites each month, where I'm at one point on my cover letter, it was like 3 sentences. I just wrote, I'll show up on time, I'll do what's asked of me, and I won't complain. That's really that's all a manager wants in an employee, is someone who shows up to work on time, does their work, and doesn't complain. That's what I put on my cover letter. I didn't get any responses. Lots of rejections. But my addendum to that cover letter should be, hey, I got high tea. I'm still horny as fuck, but I'll wait till after work to watch the smut on the internet. Now, what I can't promise is that I won't think about smut while at work. That could be a conflict of interest. Well, what do we get? All right, yeah. So, but the cheating porn, I don't like. It is hot. It is hot. At least I think it's hot. Because there are things that are a big turn on. You ever watch a hot scene? The jigglers jiggle for days. They're the type of jigglers that have lived a life. They're not too perky, but they're not pointed at the floor either. That perfect, that sweet part on the bat. Whatever. And she's Hispanic or Asian. She's got it all. The facial expressions. She's into the scene. And she's a go-getter. It's her first year or two in the industry. She's not jaded yet. Or she hasn't had too much surgery. The lip filler, it isn't obnoxious. There's no BBL. There's no boob job yet. There's no tattoos between the chest. She's fertile and she's young and she's a go-getter. And you're enjoying it. And it's a scene. It's usually in the kitchen or the living room. And you're about to hawk your dick loogie. You've been gooning. You've been searching for the scene. This is the one. You're about to give yourself a gasm. And then she says something stupid, out of pocket. Like, what if mom comes home and you're what the fuck? I was invested in this scene. I was going to give you my dick loogie. And then I find out you're fucking your stepbrother? Now that's something I morally object to. When there's a scene, I'm getting hot and bothered. I'm doing my business to Mr. Perfect, my penis, and I'm giving this scene my all. I'm committed to this scene. Hot babe, the John is piping her right, all the right angles. She's got a bit of pubic hair. An ass that's being a firm ass, but a jiggly ass, right? She's got the body. She's voluptuous. And you're about, and the timing of her comment where she informs you that she's fucking somebody she's related to. This is some type of incest or incest light with a stepbrother or stepdad. Once she makes that comment or the male talent makes that comment, you've been fucking for 8 minutes and now you're going to call him your stepdad or your stepbrother or your uncle or your aunt. It's like, shouldn't you have told us that up front before I got physically into this scene? Shouldn't that be? There's nothing more frustrating. Well, there's a lot of things more frustrating for me in the world of smut, but there are a few things more frustrating. That when you give a scene your all, you're stroking to it, and then the babe or the male talent will let you know that this scene is a stepsister, stepbrother scene, and it ruins it for you. You walk away. You walk away. Even though you're all horned up, you go, I can't give you my gasm because I don't support incest. Again, I don't judge you if you're fucking your cousin or your third cousin or whatever, and you live in a community where there's not a lot of people. It's not a metropolitan area, and there's not many people available to be fucked. So you fuck a brother or a cousin, or there's someone on your family tree. I ain't judging you, because you got to do your fucking. And if there ain't anybody else around, and that's the only one available, and hey, the royal family in Great Britain, they've been fucking their family for centuries, and they're royals. So again, I'm not advised, but I'm not doing that. That gives me the heebie-jeebies. Like I won't even, because that's a slippery slope. And I know slippery slope arguments are not great arguments to use, but I know that if I hawk my dick loogie willingly to a stepbrother, step uncle, stepfather, stepdaughter, a scene like that, they somehow that's going to get in this this perverted brain of mine, and that might become a kink. And I can't do that. Because I'm very proud of being an uncle that hasn't touched any of his nieces or nephews or my aunts. I haven't touched anybody in my family. I'm proud of that record. That's a record that should be celebrated. I should have a monument or a plaque or a medal just acknowledging that I haven't touched any of my nieces or nephews. But once you start willingly giving your orgasm to a stepsister, stepdaughter scene, your brain, that's going to do something in your brain, and that connection with your penis, Mr. Perfect, for me, I don't want to go down. I honestly think if I started watching stepsister or stepfather smut, I don't think I'd start fucking stepdaughter of mine if I had one. I don't think I'd actually I don't think that actually happened. That transition from watching it stepdaughter porn to engaging in stepdaughter or real daughter porn in real life, I don't think I'd make that step. I'm pretty certain I won't, but I can't say 100% that it wouldn't happen. Like I say, I can say there's 99.9, hands off, I'm not going to do the incest. Ain't for the B-Man, ain't for Brian Glass, it ain't for any of us here at Verbal Graffiti. But I'm worried about that 0.001%, or if I start engaging in that kind of smut, that it might turn into a real life thing. And I don't want that. Same thing with anime. You watch hentai, you watch anime smut, anything animated. That's not human. So if you're hawking your dick loogie to that, or playing with your clit, you're fiddling your clit to that kind of smut, your mind gets combobulated to not be attracted to humans. So I'm convinced if you watch anime, if you watch hentai, or any that Japanese weird porn, somehow you're going to become a pedophile. And you're going to start be sexually attracted to minors. I don't want that. So anytime I'm clicking on something and there's hentai or there's anime, I'm out. I'm finding a real scene, because that's a barrier. You start hawking your dick loogie to something that's animated. Before you know it, you can't get your dick hard for a real babe. Now, I have no babes to get my dick hard for right now, so that's not something I have to worry about. But this is almost, it's preventative care of my sex drive and my sexual urges. That's what not watching anime, hentai, or stepdaughter, stepbrother, incest porn, not engaging in any of those weird, or I won't say weird, but those kinks, not engaging in those, that's preventative care for my sexual desires. And I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself for not touching anybody in my real life family. Not watching anime, not watching hentai, not watching step family smut on the internet. I'm proud of myself for that. But I gotta admit, I do engage in watching cheating porn. And that's not a category I should be watching, because it's wrong to cheat on your lover. It's not something you should do. It's not something that's morally correct. So I'm immoral adjacent, because I'm watching two people cheat, or at least one of the partners cheat, and I'm getting off to it. So that's almost worse than cheating. I don't know. I'm not going to stop. I can't stop. There's something that You know what I love? I love watching a smut scene. You don't know what I love, but I'm about to tell you. I love watching a smut scene that's real. You know, you could tell because there's posters on the wall. There's posters on the wall. There's music being played. The TV is on. Because if it's a real smut scene or a professional smut scene, you're not allowed to play music because you got to pay for the rights. The company that's making the smut scene, making the nasty video, they don't have the money to pay for the rights to the music. So whenever there's real music being played on a smut scene of rap or pop or rock or whatever, that's what music is. Like, you know, oh, that's a real scene. And if there's real posters on the wall, you know it's a fake scene when you see a telephone in the scene. You know, when they're in a hotel and there's a telephone, a physical telephone, that's a dead giveaway that this is a professional scene. So even they'll say it's amateur. You know, they'll put it under the amateur category. But they don't be coming at the B-man. I know I'm a veteran, John. So you go to the amateur category, and there's a scene where all the walls are blank. There's nothing on the walls. There's a telephone. There's 2 queen-size beds. Like, this is a hotel. This is a professional scene. These are actors and actresses. Don't come at me telling me this is amateur. It is not. But what I'm getting at is when you watch a real amateur scene, that's a real cheating scene, and the guy's piping her, the male talent is piping her doggy style over a couch, over a love seat, just has her bent over and he's railing her. He's giving her the business that her boyfriend doesn't give her. And he makes the babe call her boyfriend. That's hot. That's hot. I hawk my dick loogie to that. When she's on the phone with her boyfriend trying to contain herself as there's a huge dong just ripping apart her vagina, rearranging her insides, and she has to physically contain herself from moaning or, you know, giving some type of a noise that will give away that she's getting fucked. So she has to it's a girl like trying to have a conversation with her boyfriend on her cell phone while she's getting fucked from behind by some guy she met that night. That's hot. That's hot. At least for me, that's hot. Or you're watching a scene and there'll be subtitles or just, I don't know. It's a category I enjoy. I've had hundreds of dick loogies. I've hawked my dick loogie to babes who are cheating on their boyfriends or guys that are cheating on their girlfriends. And it's the phone call. It's how devious, how deceitful. It's one thing to cheat on your lover. It's a whole nother level of cheating when you're cheating on your lover while you're on the while you're on the phone with him. That's a level. That's why you call babes witches. That's why women were once considered witches. You look back at the Salem Witch trial, and you're taught in school, this was a terrible time period. There were these witches in Salem, Massachusetts, or these babes that were, how would you describe it? There were like lawyers and trials accusing these babes in the community of being witches. And they had to drown in the lake or have rocks put on top of them. I think some of them might have been murdered or executed. And you look back and you're taught in school that that's horrific. That we can't have that happen again. We can't accuse babes of being witches with all the knowledge we have today in 2026. That's a stain on humanity, on America, on men. on law, the judicial branch. Like that's a stain. We have to remember it forever, learn about it so we don't repeat the past. My rebuttal to that is, well, I watch plenty of smut where a babe will be on the phone with her boyfriend, her lover of multiple years. She'll be saying, I love you, while she's being piped by another John, and the boyfriend has no idea what is going down in that moment when her girlfriend says, I love you. He says, I love you back. And then she has to, bite her lip so she doesn't yell out in ecstasy. When you watch that, in my case, I hawk my dick loogie to that. I give that scene my gasm because it deserves it. I think it's hot. But as a viewer of that, if you're being objective, you don't have a bias. You'll watch this babe do that. Partake willingly in this heinous act of cheating on her boyfriend and calling him during the cheat while she's getting piped by another man. For some guys or some members of the community to look at her, knowing what she did, and call her a witch, can you blame them? Can you blame them? Because that is an act that a witch would engage in. Witches aren't faithful. A witch will cheat on her lover. So when modern day babes are cheating on their lovers on camera, while on the phone with their boyfriend or their husband or their lover or whomever, they're filming it. They're talking to him on the phone. That's the most witch act voodoo a witch can do. So now I'm talking it out. Like, I don't blame the Johns in Salem, Massachusetts, 1619, for accusing babes in their community of being a witch. Because what the babes here are doing in 2026, that's some witch-like behavior. And it just so happens that I'm attracted to it. Damn, I'm fucked. I'm never going to have happiness. And I probably don't deserve happiness because I hawk my dick loogie to people who are getting their hearts ripped out. The dick wants what the dick wants. Go suck a fat one.